Welcome to Point News channel.
The violence of the war between Ukraine and Russia continues to increase. These days, when the clashes are multiplying, the successful attacks of the Ukrainian army have thoroughly annoyed the Russians. Western weapons aids to Ukraine, which have been continuing since the beginning of the war, have shown the whole world a very important fact that wars are now won by technology, not by the number of people. Russia, which has 3 times as many soldiers as the Ukrainian army, could not use the advantage of this majority against Western technology. The war, which Putin said will end in 2 weeks, has come to the end of its first year. The Russian army first lost its flagship Moskva in the Black Sea, and then the Kerch Strait Bridge, thanks to Western technology. US President Joe Biden promised the other day that the US will stand by Ukraine as long as the war continues, and that the US will continue its weapons aid to Ukraine. Following these statements, the US announced that it had made a sizable additional shipment of weapons and ammunition to Ukraine. According to the Pentagon's statement, the package includes 90 Stryker armored personnel carriers, 59 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, Avenger air defense systems, and ammunition large and small, not the Western battle tanks that Kiev expects. The 59 Bradley IFV included in this package, together with the previously committed 50 Bradley and 90 Stryker APCs, will provide Ukraine with 2 brigade armored capabilities. A $3 billion package announced last month included the top 50 Bradleys. Apart from the UK, the USA and other countries made many important contributions to Ukraine in armored vehicles, but did not commit to providing the country with any modern Western tanks. In recent days, we observed that the situation has changed for the better. A huge tank shipment campaign to Ukraine has begun. It is planned that not only tanks for ground operations, but also planes, which are a much more important vehicle, will go to Ukraine. The Netherlands will consider supplying F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine if requested by the Kiev government. During the parliamentary meeting, Dutch Foreign Minister Wopke Hoekstra said the cabinet would look at such a request with an open mind. Hoekstra said regular delivery of equipment is not taboo for them. The explanations come as many fear Russia may launch another major offensive in the coming months. According to Hoekstra, the Netherlands only ships products requested by Ukraine. Kiev currently needs mainly heavy weapons. The country has been asking for modern battle tanks for some time now. Poland and Finland went to ship German Leopard 2 tanks, but they need permission from Germany. The German government is under intense pressure to allow these tanks to go to Ukraine. Dutch Defense Minister Kajsa Ollongren also said the Netherlands is willing to help pay for modern Leopard 2 tanks to be sent to Ukraine. Ollongren said in a statement that the Netherlands is ready to pay to receive the tanks in Ukraine, but the delivery must take place within a European or NATO coalition. Ollongren said, "We are waiting for Germany's stance on this issue, but I am in favor of trying to find a solution and sending tanks to Ukraine. We have always shown Ukraine that we can meet its needs together." The Netherlands is also considering the possibility of transferring the Patriot air defense system to Ukraine. On the other hand, there were violent eruptions in Konstantinovka, Kramatorsk, and Druzhkovka. According to residents of these settlements, powerful rocket and artillery attacks were carried out on objects of the armed forces of Ukraine. The targets were places where Ukrainian military equipment was stored, temporary deployment points of military personnel, as well as ammunition storage. Local sources reported that the explosions caused by the attacks were very strong, and they could be heard from the Kramatorsk region. This indicates that one of the weapons and ammunition depots was hit. A photo taken by locals shows after the first minutes of the bombardment. Ukraine's defense ministry has yet to comment on the attack and did not specify whether any targets were hit. Active attacks in this direction are nothing but preparations for an offensive, as well as attempts to interrupt the supply of weapons and military equipment to the Ukrainian troops in and around Bakhmut. On the other hand, residents of the capital, Moscow, witnessed very unusual actions of the Russian army. As it is understood, they started to install air defense systems on the roofs of high-rise buildings in the center of Moscow against long-range attacks by Ukraine. Until now, such a situation has been hidden from the public, but air defense systems are likely to appear elsewhere in the Russian capital. In the videos shared on social media, the moment of installation of the Panzer S anti-aircraft missile system on the roof of one of the Moscow administrative buildings, almost in the center of the city, can be seen. There is no official data on the reason for this, but Ukraine has repeatedly stated that it would not hesitate to use long-range drones that may result from this factor. It is unknown how exactly he should control the air defense complex, but most likely, there is talk of deploying an air defense network with a centralized control system. The reasons for the mass deployment of air defense systems in Moscow have not yet been disclosed. Despite the large number of questions raised on the issue, the Kremlin did not comment on the reasons for this. Dmitry Peskov said, "It is better to ask the Ministry of Defense about all the measures taken there. Here I would like to refer you completely to our Ministry of Defense. They are responsible for ensuring the security of the country in general, and the capital in particular. It is suggested that the strengthening of the air defense in the Russian capital may be connected with attacks on military installations on Russian soil, including military airfields in the Ryazan and Saratov regions." US Navy veteran Sean Spoots said that the Panzer S-1 installations reported in Moscow may reflect Russian paranoia, but he did not think that Ukraine would actually choose to attack Moscow and that other targets would be more tactically beneficial for Ukraine in the war. Spoots also noted that the reinforcement of air defenses in Moscow could be the scene for Russia, as they may frame the facilities as a response to the so-called fears that Ukraine will attack the Russian capital. Spoots said Putin would have liked Ukraine to fire a cruise missile at Moscow so that they could present themselves as victims. Spoots added that the air defense systems could be attributed to Ukraine, which provided false information, suggesting that they intended to hit targets in Moscow in order to divert Russia's attention and resources from another front. Former US Army intelligence Colonel Dan Soller, citing Ukraine's alleged involvement in attacks on Russian air bases last month, if it is confirmed that the Panzer S-1 systems are newly deployed in Moscow, would mean that the Kremlin acknowledges that Ukraine carried out the attacks deep into Russia, and he said he believed Moscow and the Kremlin were beginning to understand that they could be targeted. Soller said, so it would be a natural extension for them to actually put these defenses up. William Reno, professor and head of political science at Northwestern University, said Russia's installation of air defense systems in Moscow could be politically motivated. Reno said, "I suspect the capital's air defense is about reducing the risk of tactically insignificant but politically damaging attacks. Such events would challenge the narrative that the Russian government is protecting its citizens and that its military defenses are impregnable. The Ukrainian armed forces are getting stronger day by day. Almost the entire Western world, especially the USA and the UK, began to do their best to end this war. When these weapons, which will change fate at the breaking moments of the war, are combined with the superior tactics of the Ukrainian armed forces, the war will now progress to a whole new level. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications in order to be informed about new videos. Our contents are carefully prepared by our expert team. This content belongs to Daily Brief YT YouTube channel only. Do not trust or rely on duplicate publications. We will take legal action against any social media broadcasting channel or any website which uses our content without permission. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope this content is useful and provides useful information for you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss other interesting content in the future. If you have suggestions or feedback, please leave comment below. See you in the next video.